Students, let us have practice of indirect speech of the lesson, the last lesson. Here, I have written one paragraph that we will turn into indirect speech. I read it. M. Hamel saw me and said very kindly, "Go to your place quickly, little Franz. We were beginning without you." My dear students, now we will see the answer. First of all, I will write the whole answer and then explain it. So pay attention, and afterwards you can copy the original paragraph and even the answer of indirect speech. M. Hamel saw me and took my name and told me to go to my place quickly. He also told that they had been beginning without me. So here you can see, students, that M. Hamel saw me and took my name and told me to go. This particular sentence, "go to your place quickly," it is not an assertive type sentence, it is an imperative sentence. So we will use TO2 to join this. And he told me to go to my place. Here your place. So listener is here Franz. So, and Franz is telling, so here you will use, instead of your, you will use my. And told me to go to my place quickly. Now the next sentence which is given here, it is an assertive sentence. So you can write that he also told that. That is a conjunction that we use in an assertive type of sentence to make indirect speech. So he also told that they had been. Now here we means M. Hamel as well as the other classmates who were already there in the class. So we turns into they were beginning. My dear students, you know the rules that when in direct speech present tense is used, you turn it into simple past tense. Here you are given past continuous tense. So that turns into past perfect continuous tense. So were beginning will turn into past perfect continuous tense. So he also told that they had been beginning without me. So here you will turn into me because the listener is Franz here. I hope, students, you have understood how we made or turned this into indirect speech. Now you can note down in your book. Now we take the second paragraph for the indirect speech. First I read it. And Hamel mounted his chair and said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in schools of Alsace and Lorraine. Now answer." First you will write the same. M. Hamel mounted his chair and said. Before you write said, let me write M. Hamel mounted his chair and lovingly called his class as his children and told that. Now this is an assertive sentence. So you will use conjunction that. What he told? This is the last. This again will turn into that. Is will turn into was. That was the last lesson. I. Who is the speaker? M. Hamel. So we will write last lesson. He. Instead I shall, we will write he would. He would give them. You is used for the listener children. So give them. And he added that what he added? That the order has come. You will write had come. From where? From Berlin. What? To teach only German in schools of Alsace and Lorraine. So my students, I repeat the sentence or answer here. M. Hamel mounted his chair and lovingly called his class as his children and told that was the last lesson he would give them. And he added that the order had come from Berlin to teach only German in schools of Alsace and Lorraine. So students, do practice of indirect speech. The weightage of indirect speech in the board exam is 4 marks. So do practice for the same. Students, now we will do the rectification of errors. First one, in rectification of error, first of all you have to read the given sentence and then you have to find out the error in the given sentence. After finding the error, you will write here in the first blank under the heading error, and then when you have found out this error, you will have to write in the next blank its correction. What can be the correct word instead of that error? So here the first line, it was the more beautiful. My dear students, we can easily make out the mistake because immediately after the, we write most. So it was the, more is an error, correction is most. So the sentence is, it was the most beautiful. Next line, language in a world. Another mistake or error that we can see here, it is a. Here, we don't have to use article a here, but instead we will have to write the correct article the. So, in this first example, in the first line, more is the error and its correction is most. and in the second line error is a and its correction is they. So in exam you have to write this way. Now second example, whenever I look up from my writing, I saw M. Hamill sitting motionless on his chair. My dear students, here the whole story is told to us by that little boy friends. So the story is in past tense. So in the very first line, whenever I look up, so this is the obvious mistake you can see here. So error in the first line is look. You will write correction looked. Second line, whenever I look up from my writing, I saw M. Hamill. In second line, here mistake is there. Writing, here spelling is given wrong. Double T is given, it is wrong. So correction you will write WRITING instead of double TING. So double T, it is an error, and in correction you will write WRITING. I saw M. Hamill sitting motionless on his chair. So third line, an error is on. Preposition on which is used here, it is a mistake or an error. Correction is in preposition with can. So this way you can do this practice, and in board exam it is of 3 marks. So do regular practice of the same.